Again. Welcome to our Bible study section on our East Belmont Baptist website. I'm Scott Frady and I'm the pastor of East Belmont Baptist Church. Today's a snow day, so it's kind of a casual day. Nobody around in the office but me. I can kind of focus on things that I need to get done that I haven't been able to do during the week. And I can just be in silence and just enjoy the day. My children are home from school and they're enjoying it. They got out first thing this morning and they started playing in the snow. They made a snowman. I think we had about 2 inches of snow, so I don't know how they got it together, but somehow they did. They made a pretty good sized snowman. And snow days are wonderful for them. It's just like a bonus holiday, and it's something that I miss most from childhood. I remember those mornings when we knew that it might snow. And you get up in the morning, you don't know what you're going to see, and then you look out the window, and all of a sudden there's this blanket of white, and you know that when you turn on that radio or that television, it's going to say, Gaston County Public Schools closed today because of weather. That was a wonderful thing. It was like a reprieve if you had a test. It was like this special bonus. And it was something that didn't come around a lot, but when it did, you had to appreciate it, and you had to make the most out of it. I think about what we talk about here in church. We talk about faith. We talk about Christ and being Christian. And I wonder how much we understand truly how rare an event like the Christ event is in human history. When Christ came into this world, it was in a mess. And when he left it, it was still that way, but he left with something else there. He left us with an ability to see the world with new eyes. Just like when that snow blankets the ground, it covers up all of the mud and the dirt. And it makes us look at the world in an entirely different way. A bare tree can become a beautiful work of art with the ice hanging off of it and the icicles. And that's what faith does for us. One of the reasons why anyone is even attracted to being a spiritual person is because we need a way to step outside of ourselves and to see the world differently, to see the world as better, to see the world again as a good place, and to see that there is something beyond our present suffering, and that there is a deity, that there is a reality at the center of all life that is a loving, caring reality. That's why we are attracted to the spiritual, because the emptiness that forms within us as we grow older cannot be fulfilled or satisfied until we begin to look inward and look towards God, who calls to each of us. Now, looking with new eyes is different than looking closer. Yes, we are supposed to pay attention. But looking with new eyes is about seeing the world not as a place to just simply survive and live, but as a place where God dwells. Looking around, you can find evidences of God everywhere through the eyes of faith. Now, that's not easy to do sometimes because our world is a violent place. There are many different diseases, people dying by the thousands because of disease and terrorism and war and famine. But underneath the suffering, there is this reality that God has given us an opportunity. That God has given us an opportunity to live in such a way that we can help other people's lives become better. That we can feed people and no one can starve. That is within us, because God placed it there. Being a Christian is about tapping into the best that we are and the best that we can be, and seeing the world from that position with awe and wonder, with concern and with love. The world has plenty of critics. There are plenty of people to go around to tell you what's wrong with things. People on television, on CNN, on the other news networks, they make a living talking about why this is the wrong policy or what's wrong with this war or what's wrong with this thing. But I think we're called to something different from that. I think we're called to point out what is good about life, what is meaningful, and why life is even worth living. A lot of people in our world today, maybe you, have begun to think that life isn't worth living anymore. They think because of the condition of the world or because of their health or because of some other crisis in their life that the world is turned against them and there's nothing here that is valuable that they can use. But when we put on the new eyes of faith, we begin to see that those people who are suffering are those that God died for and that He loves. And those are the people He calls us to bring into this new light that we found, to show that the world is again a place of great goodness, to reclaim the goodness of the world. That is to be a follower of Christ. That is what we're called to do. So I say to you, don't look closer at things. The closer we look, the more fault we find. Look with new eyes, eyes of innocence, eyes that see possibilities and wonder, eyes that see hope and the possibility of healing and salvation. May you find these things on your journey. God's blessings to you.